We were moving single file along the cliffside when the ambush hit. Dust, shouting, the hiss of rounds snapping past. Then, his hand on my pack, my brother's hand. He leaned close, his breath was steady. "Your wife will be mine now, along with the inheritance." No pause, no grin, just a statement. Then the shove. I fell backward into air. The rocks rose to meet me. My leg broke first, then the breath left my chest. Above, his voice crackled through the radio. "Man down! I tried to save him!" Through the haze of pain, I saw Private Keller on the ridge, frozen. His eyes locked with mine. He'd seen everything. My brother turned, rifle raised toward him. "You saw nothing." The rest blurred. Heat, blood, waiting. 5 hours later, the radio came alive again. A voice I knew too well. Small, fragile. "My son? Dad, are you there?" They pulled me out before nightfall. My leg was useless, the bone a splintered ruin. But pain wasn't what kept me awake. It was the truth hiding in plain sight. My brother hadn't just tried to kill me, he'd told me why. He wanted my wife, and everything that came with my name. That night from the field hospital, I called home. No answer. The next day she answered. Her voice was tired, but not shaken. She asked about my injury, said she'd figure things out while I recovered. No mention of my brother. No surprise in her tone. That was the first crack. Not in her story, in the mask she wore without realizing it. 2 weeks later, while I was still on crutches, I got a parcel. No note, just a photo. My wife at a cafe, across from my brother. Her smile wasn't forced. I didn't rage, didn't slam my fist into the wall. I filed it away. The betrayal was real. The only question was, how far had they already gone? Recovery was my cover. Every limp, every groan made me the injured man too weak to notice anything. But my mind didn't rest. I started with phone records. His number showed up on her logs almost daily. Some calls late, too late. Then the bank. Quiet transfers from our joint account, round numbers. Withdrawn in cash, always the day before she visited a friend. I called Keller, the private who'd seen my brother shove me. He was nervous, kept his voice low. Said he'd kept his mouth shut because he knew it wasn't an accident. He also said something else, that my brother had been at my house while I was still in the hospital. I asked him to keep watching, not to intervene, just observe. 2 weeks later, I got his message. "They left your place together at 2 a.m. That was enough for suspicion, not enough for certainty. So I set a trap. I told her I'd be in rehab for another month. I even had the medic sign the paperwork. In reality, I was in town, quiet, invisible. One night, Keller's text came. "They're inside your house now." I stayed away. I wanted evidence, not confrontation. It came in the form of a flash drive. Keller slipped it into my hand 2 days later. No words exchanged. On it, grainy footage from a camera I'd forgotten about. The one above the mantel, hidden in the frame. There they were, my wife, my brother. No space between them. The way he touched her wasn't new. The way she let him wasn't forced. The sound was faint, but I heard enough. Plans, money, the accident on the cliffside, my inheritance. I watched it twice, once for clarity, once for control. That evening, I invited them both over, said I had something to discuss. When they arrived, I said nothing, just slid the laptop across the table, pressed play. Neither moved, neither spoke. When the video ended, I looked at my brother. "You should have killed me when you had the chance." They both tried talking at once. Excuses, denials, accusations of misunderstanding. I stayed seated. Then I told them how it would go. The footage was already with a military investigator. Keller's statement, too. If my brother faced a court-martial, his career would end in disgrace, and that was the best-case scenario. As for her, I'd already spoken to a lawyer. The divorce papers were drafted. No settlement, no share of the inheritance. I reminded them of the bank transfers, the tax fraud they'd committed without realizing it. I explained, calmly, how that would surface once I filed my complaint. She went pale first. He clenched his jaw. I stood. I'm not here for apologies. I'm here to make sure you understand what's already in motion. I walked out, leaving the laptop playing the video again on a loop. Weeks later, the reports came in. He was discharged, dishonorable. She vanished from the house, from the city. Last I heard, she was working just far enough from here to pretend she'd started over. I didn't follow up. My leg healed enough for me to walk without a limp. But I kept the cane, a reminder. Not of the fall, of the moment I saw his hand reach for my pack, knowing exactly what came next. Some betrayals you survive. Others, you bury alive, and make sure they never crawl back to daylight.